Hello all. In the previous parts, we learnt a few customs and practices of people of different areas before proceeding with the poets group. Today, we are going to learn more about interesting things about our ancestors who were much advanced in food production technology and lifestyle. Let us proceed with the poem. ஆலைகளில் கருப்பஞ்சாறு அருந்துதல், மழை விளையாடும் களைவளர் அடுக்கத்து, அலங்குடை யாழி தாக்கலின், பலவுடன் கணம் சால் வேளம் கதழ் உற்றாங்கு, எந்திரம் சிலைக்கும் துஞ்சா கம்பலை, விசயம் அடுவும் புகைசூழ் ஆலைதோறும், கரும்பின் தீஞ்சாறு விரும்பினர் விசைமின். Cane juice savored at the mills. The mountainside where drizzles play with bamboo stall, like the sudden attack of Yali on groups of elephants that tremble and fret. The monotonous sounding, thundering machines, as thick syrup of canes boil, smoking and dark, relish and savor the juice of canes as you pass. The poet explains that on the way ahead, the group would notice vast mills that produce sugar canes or process sugar canes. The mills had advanced machines that made deafening noises. They had machines to extract the juice from the canes, huge boilers that made a thick syrup from the cane juice, and more machines that extracted sugar and jaggery from the canes as well. He says that the group should definitely stop and taste the cane juice from the mills. This would serve as a great refreshment before they proceeded. This poem is at least 2000 years old or even more. So our ancestors had advanced machines and technology to process sugar canes, extract their juices, separate sugar from it, extract molasses, process cane fiber, and so on. It is time we changed our notion about our ancestors and revalued our heritage. Moving ahead with the poem. Valaignir Kudiruppu வெழ நிறைத்து வெண்கோடு விரையித் தாழை முடித்து தருப்பை வேந்த குறியிறை குரம்பை பரியுடை முன்றில் கொடுங்கார் புன்னை கோடு துமித்து இயற்றிய பைங்காய் தூங்கும் பாய் மணல் பந்தர் இளையரும் முதியரும் கிளையுடன் துவன்றி புலவுநுனை பகிழியும் சிலையும் மான செவ்வரி கயலோடு பச்சிரா பிறழும் மயிரும் குட்டத்து மகுவோடு வழங்கி கோடை நீடினும் குறைபடலறியா தோள்தாள் குளத்து கோடு காத்திருக்கும் கொடுமுடி வலைஞர் குடிவயிர் சேப்பின். The fisherman's coat. Kunz grass laid straight in line with white twig in between, laurel fiber and wild grass weaved together. The small baskets in the yard that can catch the tiniest of fish, strong and bent ironwood chopped while green fruits bunch, the shady tent on the sand where young and old spread out chatty, carrying meaty smelly sharp arrows and bent bows, where scarlet-lined carps and dark sharks swim, dark cold, deep ponds fished by young ones that never dry even in the severest of summers, filled overhead and above arms that pray and wait along shores, where you rest with fishermen whose nets have not so tricky. The poet says that the next stop would be along the seashores of the kingdom of Ilandirayan. The fisherman's village can be identified with tents and roofs made of green leaves and fruits from ironwood trees. These fishermen were experts in weaving their own nets using wild grass, laurel fiber, and thin twigs. Using the nets weaved thus, they made baskets that could catch even smaller fish. The poet says that one can find people of all age groups huddled under the shades of the tents. They would also find small ponds along with elders can be seen teaching young boys and girls how to fish. The poet says that one should not get fooled by the small ponds because though small in size, they would be extremely deep. The poet says that most of the ponds would be deep enough to swallow a fully grown man with even arms above his head. And the poet says that these ponds are special because they never became dry. Even at the peak of summers, they were filled with water. The poet says that his troop should rest there and enjoy the hospitality of the fishermen. வலைஞர் குடியில் பெரும் உணவு அவையா அரிசி அம்களித்துளவை மலர்வாய் பிழாவில் புலராற்றி பாம்பூரை புற்றின் குறும்பி ஏய்க்கும் பூம்புற நல்லாடை அலை இத்தெம்பட எல்லையும் இரவும் இருமுறை கழுப்பி வல்லாய் சாடியின் வளைச்சார விளைந்த வெந்நீர் அரியல் விரல் அலை நரும்பு வழி தன்மீன் சூட்டோடு தளர்தலும் பெருகுவீர். The fishermen's feast. Tasty porridge cooked from hand-pound rice, let to cool on a white platter, like the maggots hidden deep in ant hills. Goodness pounded to fineness, and mix it sweetly at dawn, and dusk twice taken, strong-mouthed urns bearing them to age. Toddy brewed in boiling water and filtered several times. With roasted fish will you be served with lots of love. The poet says that the speciality of the fishermen is their fine hand-pounded rice that are extremely small, like the maggots one can find in the anthills. They are known for their delicious toddy that is extracted from the maggot-sized rice, and it is pounded finely, cooked in boiling water, filtered using a multi-layered cloth, and distilled. This distilled toddy is then stored in pots that have narrow but strong mouths that are tied up tightly with a cloth so that the toddy could age. The poet says that the fisher people would serve the tasty toddy with fish roasts and many more for the guests who rest for the day there. காலையில் நீர் பூக்களை சூடி போதல் பச்சூன் பெய்த சுவல்பிணி பைந்தோள் கொள்வல் பான்மகன் தலைவலித்தையாத்த நெடுங்களை தூண்டில் நடுங்க நான் கொழி கொடுவாயிரும்பெண் மடித்தலை புலம்ப பொதியிரை கதுவிய போல்வாய் வாழை நீர்நனி பிரம்பின் நடுங்க நிழல் வெறுவும் நீத்துடை நெடுங்கயம் தீம்பட மலர்ந்த கடவுள் ஓன்பூ அடைத்தல் ஓம்பி உரைக்கால் மாறிய ஓங்கு உயிர் நனந்தலை அகலிருவானத்து குறைவில் ஏய்ப்ப அரக்கு இதழ் குவளையோடு நீலம் நீடி முரட்பூ மலிந்த முதுநீர் பொய்கை குறுநர் இட்ட கூம்பு விடு பன்மலர் பெருநாள் அமையத்து பிணையினிற் கழிமின். Where the water lilies at dawn, fresh meat borne on shoulders padded with meaty skin, expert fisherman that he who holds the string tied from the trembling tip of bamboo, the bent mouth of the fishing line left to lament, the bait untouched by the elusive scabbard that scared of the bamboo shades cast on waters, swim-worthy waters that hold flame-like blooms, loved by gods, the water lilies, the broad grounds up and high that cease to rain, half bowed like the celestial one across the sky. Vermilion and blue petal water lilies and other blooms ancestral to the waters, yet so flexible to those who wish to nip them and sport on you before you proceed post-dawn. The poet says that another speciality of the ponds and lakes in the fishermen cove are the plenty of water lilies and rare flowers that are strewn everywhere. He says that if one decides to fish in these ponds, even after several hours, one cannot catch a single fish, as the ponds hold very active scabbard fish that are extremely difficult to catch. He wittingly says that the fishing rods would be deeply disappointed, and even they bend like the rainbow across this white sky, they will not hold any catch. The poet says that it is from these ponds the fishermen take flowers to their temples to decorate their gods and goddesses. There will be lilies with red petals, blue ones, and several rare flowers, and they will be easily accessible to anyone who wishes to pluck them. The poet says that they should definitely carry a few flowers with them before proceeding further in the morning. It is a long journey indeed, but trust me, it is totally worth it, and we are going to meet many more people before we meet the great king, Ilandirayan, the founder of the Pallava dynasty. Catch you in the next part. Thank you.